When did you realize that this was going to be something bigger? What got you into this that made you basically turn it into a lifetime?
Well, for me, I started off playing drums in the church, and this dude used to be the music guy. Every time we had the church picnics and the outings and everything, Red would come with the big box with a trunk full of cassettes, and he'd be playing the music and everything like that. And it was just something that was incredible because, you know, I wasn't poor, I was poor. We couldn't even afford the other OR, so he was the only one I knew that had some turntables. And I said, well, you know, I gotta get up on this dude. So he's kind of responsible for the legend of Jazzy Jay because of the fact that he took time out of his schedule after he worked all day, and then he comes and see this little 12, 13-year-old kid standing in front of his stupid. He's like, oh, not you. This dude again. But yeah, he took me under his wing and then, you know, started, and then I go back and I'll be listening to it was a cat called DJ Tommy, and he was a bass guitar player, and he used to come outside with his two earth columns. You remember well, some of you might not remember, but you'd have to dig way back. They used to have these bass speakers, and they looked like couches. They used to have the leather on it with the little buttons in it, and it looked like furniture. But he had those two, and that's what he used to do. He used to hook turntables up.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to beat on your chest. So, and he came down and he used to play the music, and this was even pre Bambaataa. Bambaataa was still stuck in his bedroom playing music on, you know, you remember how the 45s used to, you know, the arm go back and the next one drop down. So, you know, looking at going outside and seeing Tommy had these turntables and the music never ended, took me back to when I was listening to the radio with Ted Courier and all these cats that used to mix and like, wow, the music never ends. Of one song dances right into the next song. And I was like, wow, that's amazing, you know. But I used to sit there and listen to that and then hit my drum licks, and, you know, that's how I actually got the name Jazzy Jay, because they wanted to call me Little John. Didn't want to go that route. What if I have a growth spurt? That didn't happen. But anyway, so I wanted to choose a name that was right for me, and at that time, being a drummer and listening to syncopated jazz music, I said, listen, I gotta pick a name that's gonna represent me for the years to come, something like that. And then, you know, I was into the jazz, drums, and the first letter of my name was J. I was like, oh, Jazzy Jay. And that's the name that stuck with me, even before I knew what I was doing. Because none of us knew what we were doing. We were calling ourselves, we was doing the disco mix, we was playing at the jam, and the jam is where you went to go off. So people talk about b-boying and breakdancing. We didn't know what we was doing when we was doing that. Red used to be a breakdancer. I was a breakdancer. Islam was breakdancing. But you know, we didn't call it breakdancing. We called it crazy things like the go off, boing boing. They doing that shit. Yo, where you going? I'm going over there because they doing that shit. And they playing that shit. So that's why I got involved, because they was doing that shit and playing that shit, and till today we're still doing that shit.